to spend just a few minutes with you now doing some vocabulary work. But there's nothing like vocabulary to give you an edge on writing, on speaking, and on understanding what you read. And so many times you can understand what a difficult word means just by the context the author uses it in, because authors oftentimes actually define a hard word right in the text that they're writing. Sometimes they'll give examples with synonyms after the word that's difficult. Other times they'll use contrasting words. They'll use the opposite, which helps you then know what that hard word means. Let me show you some examples. Here's an example of where an author defines the word. This is in To Build a Fire by Jack London. There was no sun nor hint of sun, though there was not a cloud in the sky. It was a clear day, and yet there seemed an intangible, there's a difficult word, intangible pall over the face of things, a subtle gloom that made the day dark. Now, do you know what intangible means? A subtle gloom, intangible pall, subtle gloom. So the author has actually defined those terms right there. See how nice that is? Now you understand. What about an author giving examples, synonyms? In this story that we just read, Frampton, this is from The Open Window, Frampton, who labored under the tolerably widespread delusion that total strangers and chance acquaintances are hungry for the least detail of one's ailments and infirmities. Okay, infirmities may be a word you're not familiar with, but look, he gives us a synonym right here, ailments. So we know that we're talking about illnesses, sicknesses. Pretty nice, isn't it? So watch for those synonyms. Also, here's an example of where an author uses a contrast to help you understand a word. This is from Lady or the Tiger, and this is what he says. Although its form and plan were borrowed from afar, its purpose emanated solely from the brain of this man. Now, emanated may be a word you are not familiar with, but let's look at the construction here. Although its form and plan were borrowed from afar, its purpose emanated solely from the brain of this man. So the form came from afar. The purpose came solely from the brain of this man. Do you see? Although in this situation, it's opposite. But you can see how that he equates that. Those were borrowed. This came solely from the brain of this man. So it helps you understand or get a feel for what it really means. I want you now to practice finding out what words mean in context.